All right, meeting call to order. Today is Friday, May 17th. It is now 9:06 a.m. in the morning.
Roll call, Councilman Dennison,
Here.
Councilman Lichardi,
Here.
Councilman Messier,
Here.
Council Vice President Williamson.
Here.
And Council President Goslin.
Here.
Quorum is declared. Ordinances, second reading of ordinance 2024-4, amending chapter 18, taxation, section 18-1, elderly exemptions, and section 18-4, veterans exemptions.
Move the ordinance.
Second. Moving second. Any discussion? This is a second reading. Hearing none, I'll take a roll call vote. Jay?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Mary Beth?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Business licenses, request from Rockwell Amusements for a carnival license for event to be held May 23rd through 27th at 102 Hay Street.
Move the request.
Second. Moving second. Any questions?
No, did they make sure they're cool with anything else going on in the area?
The
I
only
mean,
thing I think they need to rectify is the buses
yeah,
and maybe some baseball, but they're going where the buses are, so in that area, that lower parking lot,
Yeah, they've done.
not the upper new paved parking
Yeah,
lot.
they've done that one a couple of years ago.
yeah, but if we didn't talk to the schools yet and the buses are a big deal, that's a big
No,
issue.
I think it's resolved.
Oh, all right. Okay. All right.
I will confirm, but
The time is kind of later in the day anyway on the.
yeah, but they
school
parked the
days.
buses there.
They get parked there.
Oh, so
Where
you're not
it's
worried
going.
about them going in and out. You're just
No, I'm worried about
oh, yeah.
where are the buses gonna be?
Well, they
Yeah.
usually move
Yeah.
over to Horgan for the
Oh.
weekend.
Well, last time, a
They were
couple
up
of years
at-
ago,
up
they moved
here.
them up to the high school, I think.
Yeah, they did. And if we didn't check, if that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, because that's where they were originally gonna have the carnival, was back at the high school, but the school's in session.
Yeah,
They went back down to River Point.
and maybe we can do something to make sure that these requests get done a little sooner in the future. Just saying.
So just for the leagues too, I'm not really too familiar
It's prime time.
with baseball, softball.
Mhm.
What about parking? Because that's consistently throughout the day. I don't really care. You know, I'm not gonna say no, but.
Usually, usually baseball, because of the holiday weekend, they go pretty light. Again, it's new leadership, so I don't know, but usually it's hard to field teams during this time of year because they're going away on camping trips or whatever it may be. So, you know.
I think we might have even not held any games back then.
Yeah.
Maybe it's different now, but.
Yeah, I just want to make sure everybody, because it'll come back to this group if we haven't communicated to the leagues that.
Well, I mean, that would be up to Jeff, or we sign it. I know they mentioned it when they brought up this date. Both Lori and Jeff mentioned leagues and buses, so. All right.
And when are they actually going to move in? I mean,
It's usually a couple of days before.
because this is 5/23 through 5/27. Long time.
23rd is
in
Thur-
my
23rd
mind.
is Thursday.
Just a day?
The day to set up, the day to break down and carnival.
All right.
Yeah.
But they're gonna take the state.
Yeah, yeah.
Any other comments, questions? Anything from the audience? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it.
Appointment of Greg Gonzalez as town moderator.
Move the appointment.
Second.
Moving second, discussion.
Great job.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think he attached, yeah, I know he attached
Yeah.
a resume. He's done a bunch of that work before. He's very good at it.
It's good.
Watching the video.
Well, I know I've seen him at graduations. I didn't get to the police ceremony. You guys, I know Mary Beth said he did a great job.
Yeah, he did a great job.
He's very passionate even during the graduations up on stage. You know, they love him, especially when he uses his accent a little bit. So, I think he'd be great. And he's, you know, I think he can fill the shoes of Norman, and Norman, you know, sent us that letter, and rightfully so. You know, I think, he'd be a good replacement.
Agree.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Congratulations, Greg, if you're listening. You should be teaching right now, though.
No, actually, he's not. He's in HR right
Oh,
now.
Oh,
Yeah,
HR. He's
yeah.
in HR, he's in trouble.
No, no, that's you. That's you. Yeah. He's the guy that would be yelling at you right now.
New business, approval of stage 2 architect for the West Warwick Public Schools.
Did they do that already?
They did. They had a meeting on Monday, and it's sort of after the fact, but they did want us to sign on to the fact that Tecton Architects has been appointed by the school committee for the architectural and engineering services. There's no price yet because this is an RFQ. You can't use price. You can't go out with an RFP. You actually have to worry about qualifications first. You were part of that
So-
process.
So I was part of the process. We had 7 engineering companies, have submit their proposals. They said, if you want, I can give you all 7 of the books. They're pretty in-depth.
They're all like that. They're all
Um,
that big. They're all,
I know personally, I did a lot of research as far as legals and naming and whatever, and some of the things, I don't want to bring out like publicly, but I know I went through and I looked at open lawsuits, previous lawsuits, and I brought that up in the meeting and we looked at it. I wasn't part of the interview process because I ended up with that stomach virus, so I didn't go to the interviews, but everybody spoke very highly of this group, and when we went through the process, when we got these books, we got them on Easter weekend. So we got the chance to read all that during that time. And then we had a meeting that Wednesday. And then what we had to do was put our rankings in order of how they are. And then it was cut down to 7 to 5. 5 were interviewed, and Tecton stands out a little more than everyone else. And ironically, I know that I think was one of my highest from the rankings of just reading the book. And then it was the highest during the interviews for everything else. So Tecton is, questions were asked at the last meeting we had, was how do we know what's a good price? Right, so I think, I'm drawing a blank at his name,
Chris Spiegel.
Chris Spiegel. Seems like he's on top of it, and, that if we feel that the price comes in high, we'll have that question, but I think he knows what's good and what's bad in that aspect, and hopefully, we can go from there. But I think this is a very reputable company, no issues as far as you go online and look them up, there's no issues. I mean, there was some that had names changed 3 times, and if you look, they had legal battles and whatever, so you know why they changed their names. So that's one thing, and not only that, the person that presented their
Part of their group.
their group,
Interview.
he actually lived here in Arctic for 10 years. So he kind of knows the community and somewhat the needs. So that was another big selling point. There was a couple others that actually were from West Warwick or graduated from West Warwick or whatever, that were part of other groups. But, that was definitely a good one where he lived right here in the town for 10 years and he knew pretty much what the town was.
So the architect firm, are they looking to design it at a specific place right now, or are they just?
That's what that's what they do. So this isn't the design phase yet. It's what are the options? Where can things go? They look at what we currently have and then make that decision. We are not married to them throughout the process. This is just for stage 2. If for some reason we're not happy with them, that to me would be they would have to do something terrible because you don't want to start all over
Right.
again with a new. So, no, they're not in the process.
With the town is not, right, this is out of the portion that the school department and department grant. right?
I assume that this can be more, I don't know who pays the physical bill, but I assume it eventually gets wrapped into a bond. I don't know if you've had conversations with Chris and
I know
Karen.
they have some money that is being intended to spend, as obviously we probably will too, but yeah, the total price, because hopefully them will be working through the entire project, so like obviously what they're doing now is gonna be pre-bond
Right.
paid, but the total cost will probably get wrapped into the bond.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's still in the early stages. They haven't decided, whether it's addition on the high school, addition on Maisie Quinn, a new high school, nothing's been like, that's still early stages. That's how early we are in it.
it may be that every school gets touched, because there might be a need in every school. It might be that there's a whole complex built. It
Alright,
might
so-
be,
alright.
so that has not been decided in any way, shape, or form yet. It's an open conversation, so.
And they need our approval?
They don't need it, they'd like it,
Okay,
they'd like it. I mean, technically, it's the school's decision.
Right.
But,
so,
One thing they want us to make sure that we're continuing our partnership, not only for PR, but also when the bond does go out for a vote, that, you know, we're all on the same page, and they don't want to start making decisions. Like Mary Beth said, it's up to them, and they can say, yes, we're going with them, but they want our blessing too. That way there, it's
really is a
Working
partnership.
together.
They're not gonna do anything without consult, that's why we're gonna have joint meetings.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah, absolutely.
now did I miss a meeting? I may have. Like, this is the first I'm hearing of these 7, right?
No, actually, no, the gentleman, Chris Spiegel was here and
was
talked about the
here.
7 people who, they've never had 7
Right,
replies for the RFQ.
but
And,
we didn't see these.
well,
No, that's the
no,
school building committee.
no, we
Yeah,
we
school
left that to
building
the school
committee.
building
Okay.
committee.
yes. No, that's not, and actually, the school building committee then had a smaller subset that interviewed these, and David was on that.
Yeah, I was, the only thing I did not do was the live interview, because like I said, I was not that good that morning, and nobody would want me there, trust me. But, again, it's still in the early stages, just,
So Chris Spiegel, who is our owner project manager, which I think is a crazy OPM, which is a crazy term in my mind, but that's okay. Then was going to start the negotiations with them and come back to us as far as, so this is to go with them and to offer them. We haven't even got to the point where there's been a contract signed. So, just sort of,
Ball rolls something.
that's right.
any other questions on that? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Upcoming appointments, Sewer Use Board of Review, appointment to fill a vacancy as an alternate member for a 3-year term. Sewer Use Board of Review, appointment to fill a vacancy as a regular member for a 3-year term. Tax Assessment Board of Review, appointment to fill a vacancy for a 3-year term. School Building Committee, architectural, engineering, construction experience needed. Tree Warden must be a licensed arborist. Recreation Committee, appointment to fill a vacancy for a 3-year term. And Planning Board, appointment to fill a vacancy as a regular member for term ending July 2027. Public forum.
Any public comment? I do
Anybody?
want to just bring up something. I sent you guys emails over the past couple of days.
Mm.
And if we could just work with Horgan School and our local police department on the Horgan School
I
situation.
think we,
Principal yesterday, right after we had lunch, and then Chief Levine's gonna handle some heightened visibility.
Thank you.
So, I have one,
no, I'm just gonna say that Ernie just responded to us.
Oh, did-
Yeah, talked about seeing increased frequency, which were called to encampments, blah, blah, blah. I have also directed the day shift officers to increase our vehicle presence around Horton School, especially during school hours and recess hours.
Thank you.
so I just want to let everybody know, in June, after we get through the budget process and everything, June, I am gonna be putting something on the agenda regarding. I'm getting hammered, I'm getting calls. Whether it's, again, Pulaski, Laptop, East Main. The easiest thing for me to do with East Main is I call it, but it's not, it's a town,
No.
it's a town issue.
It
It's
is a town issue.
I really don't think, and Jay, what you said the other night really sticks, it stuck with me the whole time. I don't want to put something on the agenda, spend another hour, 2 hours, going round and round, and nothing gets accomplished. I do, nobody has a solution, obviously, but this isn't working. It's not working for businesses, it's not working for our schools. I understand that people are homeless for a reason, and a lot of us are probably one paycheck away. But this isn't working out. You know, so I really truly feel it's something, we have to do something else other than what we're doing. And I don't know what that is. I've been thinking about this all the time. What I'd like to do is, I talked with Chief Rowan about this, just one big meeting. Get all the people there that want to be involved in this, all the businesses that want to gripe about it and complain, put everybody in a meeting, and I don't want to turn into a bitch session, but I want it to be something productive coming out of it. And if people don't want to respond, they want to watch and don't say anything, then don't say anything. But I think we need to take the lead on it. And I don't know what to tell people anymore. I know my feelings on it, but that's no good. And I know it's a discussion. I know I'm probably breaking the. whatever
Why
law
don't
is.
why don't you leave off the fact that you.
I'm gonna put it on an
You're
agenda,
right.
so just let everybody know.
And then if it's gonna be a big meeting, obviously make, get,
Arrangements.
arrangements, get the auditorium, excuse me.
Any other comments? Hearing none?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.